आप लोगों को मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्लियर?
यस सर।
ओके, लास्ट क्लास में हम लोग ये समझने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, वी वर ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड what is the process through which bank provides you a loan, or what is the process that bank uses to grant a loan, or what is the lending process from the bank's side. ठीक है, तो बैंक किस तरीके के स्टेप्स यूज करता है, उसमें से एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप पिछली बार हमने स्टार्ट किया था, दैट वाज क्रेडिट स्कोर. So I told you that there are a couple of global companies like Equifax, TransUnion that provide the data. These are the companies that provide data around credit score. And what is a credit score? There is a FICO method that is being followed across the globe to calculate what is the credit score of an individual or of a corporate or of a firm. What are the different parameters on which a credit score is decided for a firm or for an individual? The first thing is, what is the payment history of the firm or the individual? So when we talk about payment history, it can be payment of taxes, payment of mandatory bills like mobile bill, electricity bill, municipality. All these charges are considered under the payment history. What is the amount of outstanding debt? Outstanding debt means that if you have currently or existing, there is an existing loan in your profile, which is called an outstanding debt, and that is being repaid. This repayment period is still going on, and you have applied for a new loan, for a new credit. That is the time when bank would like to analyze what is your capacity and what amount of outstanding debt is already there and what amount of loan you would now require as a new credit. So they would like to compare to see what is debt to credit limit ratio. So as I told you in the last class, that there is an analysis, complete analysis, which goes on, which decides what is the credit limit of the person. So credit limit is compared with the outstanding debt and the application of new debt. Length of the credit history. What is the length of the credit history? Which means, when did you take the first loan? When a corporate organization, a firm, a partnership firm, or an individual has taken a loan first time, and from that date until today, what is his situation? How many times he has taken the loan? How many times he has taken the credit? How many times he has paid it back on time? How many times there were defaults in his account that he was not able to pay the debt, etc., etc. New credit inquiries. How frequently, how normally would you like to go on different banks and check if you can get credit or not? The number of times you would like to hit the bank with a credit inquiry, it gets recorded into the credit scoring website, which is managed and administered by TransUnion, Equifax, right? Type of credit that you have taken. What type of credit you have taken, whether it is an installment loan or whether it is a revolving credit. Demographic information. It also captures what is your age, what is your marital status, number of dependents, etc., through various applications that you have made during the credit period to various agencies and banking institutions and financial institutions. This information is basically compared to see the credit performance of the individual compared to the other individuals, firm to the other firms, and competitors to see whether they are performing as per the standard or not. Also, there is a criteria that if, say, for example, I am a company, I have applied for a loan in the bank. Bank would also like to assess what my competitors are doing. What is their credit profile? What is their debt to credit limit ratio? What is the length of their credit history? What is, how many times they have paid back loan on time? So that they can get some confidence that, okay, companies like this, organizations like this would be able to pay back the amount within the stipulated time period. They would not like to default. So industry's image is also important when the credit score is checked. Some lenders also have their own scoring methods, which may include information such as income or length of employment. Obviously, if an organization keeps a current account or other kinds of deposits with the financial institution would like to include the information like what is the income or what is the revenue that the company is earning, how many employees do have bank accounts, how do you transfer your salary, right? and how long you have kept your account with the financial institution. What is the relationship with the financial institution when it comes to corporate or commercial lending? Credit cards, let's very briefly discuss. This is generally of two categories. Credit cards are issued on either corporate basis or on individual basis. So what they do is basically banks and financial institutions, they offer credit cards on corporate basis, where the corporate organization will give the guarantee that this card will be used for official purposes of the organization, and it is given to the employees of that organization. That is called a commercial credit card or corporate credit card. Individual credit card is where the credit card services are given to individual consumers of the bank, and individual credit cards, they come under individual consumer lending. The corporate credit cards, they come under the commercial banking or the commercial lending unit of the bank. So what does a credit card do? The credit card is a plastic card issued to the users as a system of payment. The credit card is owned by the credit card issuing agency, making agency like Visa or MasterCard. Generally, what banks do, they buy rights of usage of that card from Visa, MasterCard, RuPay, American Express, etc., JCB, and they further issue these rights to the card holders. So basically, when you look at HDFC Bank credit card, ICICI Bank credit card, State Bank of India card, they are actually not owned by the bank. Banks are only issuers of that card. The owning rights are with Visa and MasterCard, who are the enablers of those cards. They are the producers of those cards who are enabling the transactions, financial transactions across the world. Credit card allows the consumers a continuing balance of debt. Debt is also known as credit, subject to interest being charged. So obviously, what you can do is you can buy certain things on a credit card for a free period of about 40 days, 45 days, 50 days, 55 days, depending on the period that has been allowed by the bank.
Sir, credit card पर interest कितना charge करता है?
देखिए, जो ये चार्जेस होते हैं क्रेडिट कार्ड पर, ये डिपेंडेंट होते हैं, फ्लोटिंग नेचर के होते हैं. एक तो ये होता है कि क्रेडिट कार्ड की कोई एनुअल फीस है क्या? इज द क्रेडिट कार्ड फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट और आर यू गोइंग टू पे एन एनुअल फीस ऑफ द क्रेडिट कार्ड? अब बहुत सारे कार्ड ऐसे आते हैं जिसमें एनुअल फीस होती है, फ्री नहीं होते हैं, या वो पहले 2 साल फ्री होते हैं, उसके बाद एनुअल फीस लगने लगती है. सेकेंडली, interest, if you are talking about, interest is only charged in credit card when you are not able to pay the debt amount within the stipulated time. For example, आपने grocery खरीद ली अपने घर के लिए 10,000 रुपए की, and for example you got 50 days. हर credit card की एक policy होती है that you get a free credit period of 50 days, 40 days, 45 days, whatever that is. After 40 days or 45 days, what is the stipulated period? If you are not able to pay the amount, then bank would charge interest, and that interest ranges between 9% to 35%. More you delay the payment, higher amount of interest will be charged for that particular debt. So it is very dangerous if you make defaults in credit card payments. After some period of time, the credit interest will go up very swiftly, very rapidly. That is why I mentioned that it ranges between 9% to 35%. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Most credit cards are issued by banks. As I said, banks are issuers, financial institutions are issuers. The owning rights for the payment of the credit cards are vested with companies like MasterCard, Visa, JCB, American Express, RuPay. These are the organizations or agencies which have the owning rights of the credit cards. Even the same applies for the debit card. Debit card is again, so basically the rights are extended, usage rights are extended by the bank to the consumers or corporates or commercial organizations. Though the feature of the debit card is that how much amount you are holding in your account, that is linked to your debit card, and you can use the debit card to the extent the amount is available in your account. So there is a benefit that debit card is your own money, credit card is not your money, it's bank's money. And it is facilitated by Visa, MasterCard, and things like that. Right? So do you understand the difference between debit and credit card?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us also understand what is prime rate. because we are talking about commercial lending, we are talking about consumer lending. We must know what is prime rate. Prime rate or prime lending rate. These are the two synonymous names which can be used in banking and money. It is a term applied in many countries to the reference of the rate of interest at which banks lend to favored customers. Please try and understand, prime rate is the lending rate, general lending rate of the country's banks to its favored customers. It can be individual consumers, it can be corporates, it can be commercial organizations. So prime rate is the general rate of interest on which a bank lends to an organization or to an individual. When we talk about favored customers, that is where the bank, as I said, there can be millions of applications at a moment with the bank for loan, but they would grant loans to only credible customers. Banks would only investigate credit score and then assign the loan to certain customers, not to every application. Others are rejected. Why? Because they feel that these customers are credible, they have decent information, they have a conviction background through which banks can ascertain that these people will be able to pay the money back. They have decent income, they have a strong background, financial backing, they have given collateral to the bank, their information is found correct, right? All those things are ensured, then only bank will give loans to customers, and those customers are called favored customers. And the rate on which generally banking institution will provide loan is called prime rate. And what you will see in a country is, when we talk about prime rate, most of the lendings, most of the banks will do lending around that rate only. Nobody would like to cross that rate, but people would like to compete on 0.1 percentage points or 0.2 percentage points. They would like to compete. Say, for example, car loan prime lending rate in the country is, for example, 9%. So State Bank of India will say, I will give you loan on 8.7. ICICI will say, I will give you 8.75. That kind of competition might be there around the prime lending rate, but nobody would like to cross the prime lending rate. Prime lending rate changes only when the central bank of the country, in India's case, it is Reserve Bank of India. If Reserve Bank of India changes its lending rate to the commercial banks, अगर Reserve Bank of India की जो lending rate है, जिस पर वो कमर्शियल बैंक्स को उधार देता है, उसमें चेंज कर देता है, CLR कहा जाता है जिसको, तब बैंक्स अपने प्राइम लेंडिंग रेट को अमेंड करते हैं. और तब आप देखेंगे जब CLR चेंज होता है या SLR चेंज होता है, तो दोनों केसेस में जो है FD के रेट्स और लोन देने के रेट्स में अचानक से बहुत सारी बैंकिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बदलाव करती है. बट अगर आप सबके बगल बगल में रखते नंबर्स कंपेयर करोगे फॉर लेंडिंग रेट्स, यू वुड फाइंड देम in a grouped manner. They are concentrated towards one particular point, and that one particular point is the prime lending rate. अगर आप सारे बैंकिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के कार लोन्स, कंज्यूमर लोन्स या फिर कमर्शियल लोन्स के रेट्स ऑफ इंटरेस्ट को कंपेयर करोगे, तो जैसा मैंने बताया, अगर आप उसका डॉटेड प्लॉट बनाओगे, जिसको स्कैटर डायग्राम बोलते हैं, तो वो बहुत नजदीक एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट के चारों तरफ टक 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 जमा हो गया होगा. अगर आप ग्राफ बनाते हैं, स्कैटर प्लॉट के बारे में आपको नॉलेज है, so you would be able to imagine that situation. ठीक है? So that is what is prime lending. Now, whenever bank grants a loan, whether it is secured, collateral based or unsecured, non-collateral based, a guarantor is required. A guarantor is nobody but a promise maker that who assumes responsibility for the debt obligation of the borrower. So guarantor comes forward and tells the banking institution that I know this person is a good person, he has a good professional and financial background, he should be able to pay the loans. That is where he is called a guarantor. In the other language, it is also called surety. In the other language, it is also called surety. When you read all these things in Indian Contract Act, right, or in terms of contract parties or in terms of law, you would usually find the word surety. So the guarantor is also known as surety in terms of legal languages. Loan agreement. As I was just talking about the contract, loan once granted is a kind of contract between the banking institution, the lending institution, and the person who is the borrower from the bank. The contract is a legally enforceable agreement between two or more parties with mutual obligations. Both the parties will have obligations and they will have to discharge the duties as specified in the contract. A loan agreement is a contract entered into between the two parties which regulates the terms of loan. So it is that the bank will provide its terms and conditions. The person will say that, okay, with these terms and conditions, I would need this amount of loan. So there are obligations towards the bank to provide the loan to the person on time, against which the person has the responsibility to pay back the loan on time and as per the conditions of the bank. This is where they are documenting an agreement in their sign. तो बैंक के behalf पर भी एक आदमी साइन करता है और जो कंज्यूमर है या जो कमर्शियल इंस्टीट्यूशन है उसके behalf पर भी एक आदमी साइन करता है और इसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनाया जाता है जिसमें गारंटर भी होता है, जिसके अंदर ये भी लिखा होता है कि सिक्योर्ड लोन है कि अनसिक्योर्ड लोन है। सिक्योर्ड लोन है तो उसमें कौन सी कोलैटरल लगी, उसकी क्या वैल्यू है, उसके पेपर्स के बारे में मेंशन होता है। और अगर अनसिक्योर्ड लोन है, हायर परचेज एग्रीमेंट है, तो किस तरीके का हायर परचेज एग्रीमेंट है, कौन सी एसेट खरीदी गई है, कौन सा व्हीकल खरीदा गया है, राइट, उसकी क्या डिटेल्स हैं। अगर वो पेमेंट नहीं करता है तो ये व्हीकल हम फोरफिट कर लेंगे या नहीं कर लेंगे, ये सारी चीजें उस एग्रीमेंट या उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के अंदर।
सर अगर हम एजुकेशन लोन लेते हैं तो हम क्या कोलेटरल रखते हैं, मतलब हमें कोलेटरल रखना जरूरी होता है?
देखिए ऐसा होता है, जो एजुकेशनल लोन होता है उसके अंदर कोलैटरल नहीं मांगा जाता है। उसकी वजह ये होती है कि एजुकेशनल लोन ज्यादातर इसलिए लिया जाता है कि कोई आदमी हायर एजुकेशन या हायर टेक्निकल एजुकेशन या कोई विदेश में पढ़ाई करने के लिए या बहुत जो रिप्यूटेड इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं इस कंट्री में जिसकी फीस बहुत ज्यादा है उससे पढ़ने के लिए आप लोन लेते। तो जब स्टूडेंट लोन, एक्चुअली वो एक स्टूडेंट लोन होता है, अगर आप ध्यान से देखें, ले तो आपके पेरेंट्स लेते हैं लेकिन वो आपके लिए होता है। तो कई बार लोन ऐसा भी होता है कि जब आपकी पढ़ाई खत्म हो जाती है और आप नौकरी शुरू करते हैं तो तब आपकी सैलरी के ऊपर वो ईएमआई लगती है। देयर आर एजुकेशनल लोन्स लाइक दैट। तो वहां पर कोलैटरल की जरूरत नहीं होती है, इट्स एन अनसिक्योर्ड लोन, बट अगेन इट इज गिवन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द इन्वेस्टिगेशन दैट बैंक्स वुड कंडक्ट। बैंक कभी भी ऐसा लोन ग्रांट किसी को भी नहीं करेगा जिसकी पेइंग बैक कैपेसिटी ना हो। ठीक है
सर मुद्रा लोन का पूछना था सर, मतलब वो सर ये मतलब मुद्रा योजना जो है सर वो कैसे रिकवर करती है अपनी लोन?
देखिए ऐसा है, मुद्रा लोन इज अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग। देखिए एक बार आप गूगल में मुद्रा लोन करके लिखेंगे तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की वेबसाइट पर अगर आप जाएंगे तो आपको वहां सारी डिटेल्स मिल जाएंगी। जो जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ मुद्रा लोन है वो ये है कि इफ यू हैव अ बिजनेस आइडिया, इफ यू कैन डू समथिंग बेटर इन योर बिजनेस, you go and present it to the bank and bank would give you an entrepreneurial mudra loan to you to establish that. However, the process is not very simple. The loan is not given to any and everyone. You have to have a very strong case and a backing, then you go and present it. और ये भी होता है, when you go and present your case, you need 10 lakh rupees, they will give you 1 lakh rupees. बहुत केसेस में ऐसा हो रहा है कि आपने 5 लाख मांगे, उसने आपको 50,000 दे दिए, किसी ने 10 लाख मांगे, उनको 1 लाख दे दिए। क्योंकि बैंक जो है खाली आइडिया के बेस पर आपको लोन नहीं दे सकता। वो तो सरकार ने स्कीम निकाल दी है तो बैंक थोड़ा बहुत उसको ऑब्लाइज करने के लिए दे देता है। लेकिन ज्यादातर मुद्रा लोन जो है वो या तो एक्सपेंशन या दूसरे तरीके के जो मॉडिफिकेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं उसमें ज्यादा दिया जा रहा है। जो फ्रेश एंटरप्रेन्योरियल मुद्रा लोन है वो कम दिए जा रहे हैं। ठीक है भाई। लोन एग्रीमेंट, कंटेंट्स ऑफ अ लोन एग्रीमेंट, देखिए इसको बहुत हाई लेवल में टच कर देता हूं क्योंकि आप इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट ऑलरेडी पढ़ चुके हैं 1872। पार्टीज टू द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद देयर एड्रेसेस ये लिखा होगा। डेफिनेशन एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ प्रोविजंस ऑफ द लॉ एंड प्रोविजंस ऑफ द टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस ऑफ द बैंक। टाइप ऑफ लोन एंड पर्पस, पेमेंट प्रोविजंस, किस तरह से पेमेंट होगा, कब करना होगा, पेमेंट मेथड क्या होगा, रीपेमेंट टर्म्स एंड प्रोविजंस ऑफ रीपेमेंट। आप एक बार जब कस्टमर को लोन मिल गया, कॉर्पोरेट इंस्टीट्यूशन को लोन मिल गया, वो वापस कैसे करेंगे, कितने पीरियड के बाद तक वापस करेंगे, क्या अमाउंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट होगा, है कितनी इंस्टॉलमेंट में देंगे, कि रिवॉल्विंग क्रेडिट होगा, इवेंट्स ऑफ लेट पेमेंट, डिफॉल्ट एंड देयर रेमेडीज, ये भी लिखा होगा कि अगर कोई पेमेंट लेट हो जाता है, चेक बाउंस हो जाता है, टाइम पर पेमेंट नहीं होता है, तो कितनी पेनल्टी लगेगी, कितनी बार में पेनल्टी लगेगी, राइट, आपको नोटिस आएगा नहीं आएगा, राइट, इस तरीके की सारी चीजें इवेंट्स ऑफ लेट पेमेंट के रिलेशन में जो प्रोविजंस हैं वो लिखे होंगे। प्रोविजन फॉर फी ऑफ द लेंडर्स, क्या लोन अप्लाई करने के, कागज भरने के, बनाने के कोई चार्जेस हैं, कोई फीस है जो बैंक चार्ज करता है, वो भी उसके अंदर लिखी होगी। अमेंडमेंट्स एंड वेवर्स प्रोविजंस, कि किन किन परिस्थितियों में लोन का जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उसकी टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस को बैंक अमेंड करेगा। जैसे आप लोग जानते हैं कि हाउसिंग लोन में कई बार ऐसा होता है कि साल में 1 या 2 बार हाउसिंग लोन का जो इंटरेस्ट रेट होता है वो चेंज हो जाता है, तो चेंज हो जाता है तो आपके हाउस लोन की जो ईएमआई है वो ऊपर नीचे हो जाती है, इफेक्ट हो जाता है। वो साफ लिखा हुआ होगा कि इफ यू आर टेकिंग अ लोन लाइक दिस काइंड ऑफ एन इम्पैक्ट विल बी देयर ऑन यू, ठीक। दिस इज वेयर योर फंडिंग ऑफ लोन्स या लोन फंडिंग का जो पूरा चैप्टर है वो यहां पर कंप्लीट हो जाता है। नाउ आई वुड लाइक यू टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस ऑन द एंटायर प्रोसेस ऑफ कंज्यूमर लेंडिंग एंड कमर्शियल लेंडिंग, बताइए प्लीज। एनी क्वेश्चंस?
नो सर।
Okay. Now let us quickly understand what are the principles of sound lending, or what banking and financial institutions should do while granting credit to organizations and individuals. So we have already we've already gone through the definition and the meaning of bank lending. Let us understand the principles of sound lending. What things a bank should keep in mind while granting or approving loan to customers? Safety, liquidity, profitability, purpose, diversification, and national policies. What is safety? The foremost principle of lending is to ensure that the fund you are going to use for the purpose of the loan is safe and secure. It means that borrower is always in a position to repay the loans, because the loan is a type of fund that has been taken from the bank, and that fund is nothing less than the deposit of the customers in the bank. As I told you in the previous chapter, bank uses deposits of the customers to extend loans in certain amount of ratio. So it is the responsibility of the bank to ensure that that particular fund which is used for lending is particularly safe, and the person who is borrowing it should be able to pay it on time. And for this purpose, what is done? The borrower's capacity to pay and willingness to pay, both of these are studied as part of investigation of the banking loan application. And I told you how do they investigate. They would like to see what is the payment history, what is the credit history, what is the current debt balance, existing or outstanding debt in your account, and how many times you have made credit inquiries. This will basically determine the capacity and willingness of the customer to pay. Banker should also therefore take utmost care in ensuring the enterprise or business to which the loan is granted is sound one, and the borrower is capable to repay it successfully. So this is where the safety precaution for the banking institution will come into picture. The second factor or the second principle is liquidity. It is always advisable for a banker to make loans for shorter periods rather than longer periods, because in longer periods there are higher amounts of risks. Dynamics are there. Dynamics means the situation would change depending on time and space. If you give a loan for 3 years, it is a shorter period. If you go ahead and give a loan for 7 years or 10 years, you do not know what is going to happen in the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th year. As long as the period would be, the risk would be higher. It would be a riskier loan to grant if the period of the or the length of the credit period is higher. Banks are essentially dealers in short-term funds, and therefore they lend money mainly for short, right? Profitability. Now, banks are commercial in nature. Commercial banks, what do? They take deposits, they grant loans, and against which what do? They earn revenue, and they try to earn revenue over the cost of the banking, and they try to earn profit. Profitability is a long-term word that you would like to have a capacity to earn profits over a period of time. And when I say over a period of time, every year, you are into the business for 20 years, 25 years, 40 years, 100 years, or 200 years. Do you have the capacity or do you have the ability to earn profit consistently and continuously year on year? That is what the principle of banking loan function is. So loan is the main source of income for the bank. Obviously, the amount of interest that you are earning on the loan is the main source of income for the bank, right? And they also pay interest to the deposits out of this money. That is why you always remember, when you go and apply for a loan in the bank, it is usually between 9 to 13 or 14% of interest. But when you go and put deposits in the bank, including recurring deposit, fixed deposit, savings bank account, or any other kind of deposit, it is around 5 to 7%, not more than that. Why? Because out of the interest that the bank is earning on loans, it is paying off the deposits. The remaining portion is their profit. So you will have to give loans, obviously, to earn more revenue, right? And give money, the margin money out of it for the purpose of deposit interests that you have to grant to the customers. Therefore, they must employ their funds profitably. However, the purpose of earning higher profits, the bank should not sacrifice the safety and liquidity of funds. The other two principles that I have told you. अगर बैंक ज्यादा प्रॉफिट कमाना चाहता है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को लोन दे देगा. सेफ्टी और लिक्विडिटी प्रिंसिपल को ध्यान में रखते हुए वो लोन देगा. प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी तब जब आपका सेफ्टी इंश्योर्ड है और लिक्विडिटी इंटैक्ट. Most important point, once we have studied what is safety, liquidity, and profitability, banker should examine for what purpose the loan has been demanded. If the loan has been granted for a productive purpose, the borrower will make such profit and he will be able to pay back the loan. In no case, loan is granted for unproductive purpose. Please keep in mind that always a loan is given for a productive purpose. For commercial lending, for commercial institutions, the lending is done for what? For expansion, for modification. Now, here I would like to invoke the point of the Mudra loan. If you go to the bank without having no history, nothing in the past about you, you are a 21 years old graduate, you are going to bank and telling them that you would like to start a business, give me a 1 crore loan. They will not give you 1 crore loan. Why? Because whatever you are presenting out of inexperience, out of no conviction. You do not have a map how to make it more successful, how to make it a business organization. You do not know how to establish it. Do you have an investor backing? Do you have any kind of person, any kind of resources who are enabling you to do that business? Bank doesn't know that. You can draw whatever picture imaginary in your own eyes and present it to a bank on a piece of paper. Bank will not give you a loan like that. But bank will give you a loan to a person who already has a business, small or big. He shows his financial statements, he shows his income tax returns, he shows that he has a long-standing relationship with the bank. Now he wants modification or diversification of his business. He wants loan. Then bank will go ahead and see what all financial documents, credit scoring, investigation, etc., is done, underwriting is done, and the loan is granted. That is the difference between the two things that I'm talking about. So for unproductive purposes, they will not give any loan. For productive purposes, they will give. Why? Because they will have to get the money back, the loan money back along with the interest, so that they can also safeguard the interests of the shareholders, depositors, customers of the bank. Right? So that is the purpose of the loan. diversification of the risk. The element of risk in relation to loans cannot be totally eliminated. Once you have started giving loans as a banking institution, it is certain that there is an element of risk, and it is always on the medium or higher side. What you can do is you can reduce the element of risk by diversifying the funds. Diversifying the funds. While granting loans, banks should keep in mind that the major part of the loan is not given to a single party, single institution, single individual. You would like to give small amount of loans to a number of individuals and a number of commercial organizations. You would not like to concentrate to give big amount of loan to one party. And that is where I think in our country, some of the financial, misappropriation have taken place. We all know since 2010 how many businessmen came out, took loans and did not pay them back. What happened? They took loans amounting to 7,000, 9,000 crores. The principle of diversification of the risk is not to give such big loan to one person, one party, one institution. Give smaller amount of loans. Maybe you give 100 crores loans to 100 such institutions rather than giving 1 lakh crore loan to one party. There's a difference. When you give loans to a number of individuals, there are higher chances, higher probability of getting the income back, getting the revenue back in terms of the repayment of those loans. When you give it to one party, if he stops paying, he stops paying. And that is what has happened in the various cases of Nirav Modi, Vijay Mallya and other such entrepreneurs in this country, where we lost a lot of money, public deposits, because banks granted them loans in thousands of crores. Right? If the banker grants loans and advances to a number of firms, that is where banker will not have a big amount of risk of losing money or having heavier losses in terms of loan funding profile. Right? So that is where you diversify the risk. You try to dilute the risk by giving loans to a number of people in a number of profiles. Now, we also have to see what is the national policy on granting loans, which is Government of India or the state governments would. It would like to promote industrialization. It would like to promote production. It would like to promote the credit cycle. It would like to promote the credit period so that a number of individuals, firms and entrepreneurs would come out, pick up the business skills, do more production, create job opportunities in the market, uplift the standard of living of people, quality of life, national income and so on. So banks have certain social responsibilities towards society. The banks will have to take into account the economic and social priorities of the country beside liquidity, profitability, safety parameters of the bank. They have a social responsibility, economic responsibility towards the country. They are the banking institution. They are supposed to take deposits and give loans. This principle is known for ages. People are aware that my deposit might be lying with someone else as a loan, as a lending. So when bank is basically lending the policy, they are also guided by the government policies in relation to the disbursal of credit. This is where I would like to invoke different types of credits that are given to farmers, insurance policies that are given to farmers, Kisan credit cards, Mudra loans. Government wants to promote these people. Mudra loan is what? The basic intent of giving Mudra loan is giving small amount of loans to small entrepreneurs who can start off their organizations and pick up space in next 10 years and do very good to the economic structure of the country, do provide positive vibes to the economic policies of the country. So this is where the national interest and influence of government policy is on the lending. So these are the principles of safe and sound lending that are applied by the commercial banking institutions. Is that clear?